Welcome to the Healthy Lifestyle Podcast, brought to you by Telehealth FX, your source for online GLP-1 weight loss and testosterone replacement therapy services. Visit telehealthfx.com to get medically guided access to weight loss peptides like semaglutide and tirzepatide delivered right to your home. That's telehealthfx.com. Now, here's your hosts.
Okay, real talk. If I hear one more person say, I barely eat anything and I still can't lose weight after turning 40, I might lose it. Except they might actually be right.
Right, because something does change. It's not in your head, and it's not just willpower failing you all of a sudden at your 40th birthday party.
Exactly. So today, we're digging into weight loss after 40, what's actually happening in your body, what the research says works, and what's just noise you can safely ignore.
And I think a lot of people are going to feel relieved listening to this one, because so much of the advice out there is either outdated or just designed to sell you a detox tea.
No detox teas here. Let's start with why this even feels different after 40. What's going on physiologically?
So a few things are happening at once. First, there's a natural, gradual loss of muscle mass that starts as early as your 30s and speeds up with age. It's called sarcopenia, basically muscle loss related to aging.
And muscle matters for weight because muscle tissue burns more energy at rest than fat tissue does.
Right. So less muscle generally means your body burns somewhat fewer calories just existing, which is part of why the same eating habits that worked at 25 don't necessarily work the same way now.
That's not your metabolism being broken. It's more like the whole system has quietly shifted.
Exactly. And then for a lot of women, perimenopause and menopause bring hormonal changes, shifts in estrogen that are linked with changes in where fat tends to get stored, often more around the midsection.
And for men, there's typically a slow, gradual decline in testosterone starting in their 30s and continuing through middle age, which can also affect muscle mass and energy levels.
So both are dealing with real hormonal shifts, just different ones. None of this means change is impossible. It just means the approach might need to look a little different.
Okay, so let's get into what the research actually shows works. What's the current science say?
The clearest signal we have is around resistance training, that's strength or weight training. Multiple meta-analyses, which are studies that pool results across many trials, show that resistance training helps older adults preserve and even build muscle, which supports a healthier metabolism over time.
So it's not just burn calories, it's protect the muscle you have while you're at it.
Exactly. And that's a mindset shift from the old just do more cardio advice. Cardio has real benefits for heart health and endurance, don't get us wrong. But for body composition after 40, the research increasingly points to strength training as the piece people underuse.
What about protein? I feel like every guest we've ever had on this show mentions protein.
Because it matters more here specifically. Research suggests adults...
Today's episode is brought to you by Telehealth FX, your source for online GLP-1 weight loss and testosterone replacement therapy services. Visit telehealthfx.com to get medically guided access to weight loss peptides like semaglutide and tirzepatide delivered right to your home. That's telehealthfx.com. Now back to the show.
Over 40, especially those doing any strength training, often benefit from more protein than the general population. Think somewhere in the range of about 1.2 to 1.6 grams per kilogram of body weight, though that's a general research range, not a personal prescription.
And that's something to actually talk through with a doctor or registered dietitian, especially if you have kidney concerns or other health conditions.
100%. We're describing patterns from research, not telling anyone exactly what to eat.
Let's bust some myths because I know our listeners have heard some wild stuff.
Myth number 1, your metabolism is broken after 40. It's not broken. It is shifted gradually, mostly due to muscle loss and activity changes, and a lot of that shift is something you can influence.
Myth number 2, you just need to eat way less. Actually, chronically undereating can backfire. It can accelerate muscle loss, tank your energy, and make sustainable habits harder to stick to.
Myth number 3, hormones make it impossible. Harder in some ways, sure, but impossible isn't supported by the research. Plenty of studies show meaningful body composition changes are achievable at this life stage with the right approach.
Myth number 4, and this one drives me nuts, cardio is the only way to lose weight. Cardio's great, but on its own, it doesn't address the muscle-preserving piece we just talked about.
So what does the right approach actually look like day to day? Let's get practical.
First, prioritizing some form of strength training a couple times a week. Body weight exercises, resistance bands, dumbbells, whatever's accessible. It doesn't have to be a gym membership.
Second, paying attention to protein at meals rather than just calories. That's something a lot of people skip. Adding a protein source to breakfast alone can make a noticeable difference for a lot of people.
Third, and this one surprises people, sleep. Poor sleep is linked in research to increased hunger hormones and cravings, so it's not just a nice to have, it's actually part of the weight picture.
And fourth, managing chronic stress where possible, since elevated cortisol over long periods is associated with changes in appetite and fat storage patterns.
Now, common mistakes. What do people over 40 get wrong when they're trying to apply this?
Biggest one, going all in on a drastic diet instead of building sustainable habits. Crash diets tend to backfire long-term for basically everyone, but especially here because they can accelerate muscle loss.
Second mistake, only doing cardio and skipping strength work entirely because it feels intimidating or unfamiliar.
Third, comparing your results to what worked for you or someone else 20 years ago. The comparison itself creates frustration that isn't really about the plan, it's about the expectation.
And fourth, not accounting for individual variation. What works for your neighbor, your sibling, or some influencer online may not translate directly to your body, your health history, or your life circumstances.
Which brings up something important. This episode is educational, not medical advice. If you're navigating hormonal changes, existing health conditions, or you're starting a new exercise routine, it's genuinely worth checking in with your doctor first.
Especially before making major changes to your diet, exercise, or medications. That's not us being overly cautious, that's just responsible.
All right, let's bring this home. 3 key takeaways from today. 1. Weight loss after 40 is genuinely different due to muscle loss and hormonal shifts, but different doesn't mean impossible.
2. Strength training and adequate protein are 2 of the most evidence-backed levers you have, alongside sleep and stress management, not just cutting calories harder.
3. Sustainable, gradual changes consistently outperform extreme short-term fixes in the research, and honestly, in real life too.
Your one action step this week? Pick 2 days and add just 15 minutes of resistance movement. Even bodyweight squats and push-ups at home count. Start small and build from there.
If this episode helped reframe things for you, share it with a friend who's in the same boat. This stuff is so much easier with company.
And if you haven't already, hit subscribe so you don't miss next week's episode. We genuinely love to hear your experience. Drop a comment and let us know what's worked or what hasn't for you.
Thanks for spending this time with us. Take care of yourselves, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks for listening. Be sure to visit our sponsor, Telehealth FX, your source for online GLP-1 weight loss and testosterone replacement therapy services. Go to telehealthfx.com to get medically guided access to weight loss peptides like semaglutide and tirzepatide delivered right to your home. That's telehealthfx.com. See you next time.